All right, welcome. Today we're going to dive into something called the architecture of presence. It's an idea that really flips the script on how we think about aging. It suggests that getting older isn't about decline at all, but about this really powerful shift in what actually matters. And this right here, this is the core idea. It's all about reframing what gives your life meaning, moving away from that constant hustle and grind, and shifting toward a deeper, more intentional way of just being. Okay, so how do we really get our heads around this? Well, the best way is to see it in action. So let's spend a day with someone who really lives this philosophy. Meet Margaret. She's kind of going to be our guide through this whole thing. You know how for most of us, the day kicks off with that blaring alarm clock? Well, for Margaret, her day starts with an internal clock. It begins with the dawn. It's a life lived in a natural rhythm, tuned into the world around her, not ruled by the clock on the wall. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. This whole idea, it just comes alive in her morning routine. Let's take a closer look because, honestly, there's some deep wisdom packed into these simple, quiet moments. And this right here really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? I mean, when you see someone moving slowly, what's the first thing you think of? Our society pretty much screams weakness, right? But for Margaret, it's the total opposite. It's about intention. Every single movement is deliberate. A conscious way of conserving an energy she's learned is precious. And you see that wisdom everywhere, even in the smallest things. Take this glass of water. She put it there the night before. I mean, it seems like nothing, right? But it says so much. It's this beautiful little act of foresight, of caring for her future self, with a bit of gentleness. And look, this is way more than just making a cup of tea. This whole ritual she has, brewing her Earl Grey, it's like a mini meditation. A symphony for the senses. You've got the whistle of the kettle, the smell of that steam, the little clink of the spoon. Each part is something to be noticed, to be present for. So, after that quiet, mindful start, her day starts to unfold, and it unfolds in these chapters. But here's the key. These chapters aren't built around a to-do list or, being productive. Nope. They're all about something way more valuable. Human connection. I mean, just think about what her day looks like. Tending the garden, that's not just a chore, it's about nurturing life. Playing dominoes, you can just hear the clatter and the laughter, right? Reading to kids at the library, passing on stories. Every single one of these is an act of connection. And this slide, it just nails it. It shows a totally different way of looking at value. Yeah, they might be playing for a few quarters, but come on, that's not what it's about. The real currency here, it's the stories, the laughter, the shared history. That's the stuff you can't put a price on. All right, so the day is winding down, evening's setting in. So how does Margaret measure a good day? What does success actually look like when you're living this way? So by 8 p.m., there's this satisfying ache that settles in. But it's not that drained, stressed out feeling you get from a crazy commute. No, this is different. This is the good kind of tired, the kind you earn from a day full of purpose. So what she's really done is she's thrown out the old rule book for what makes a full day. Success isn't measured by how many tasks you checked off. It's measured in these much richer, much more human ways. Those moments of real connection, the little things you create, and just feeling like you have a purpose. So when you look at Margaret's whole day, this architecture of presence she's built, well, it leaves us with a really powerful lesson, especially for our own crazy, fast-paced lives. And really, this is the big takeaway. Slowing down doesn't mean you're stopping. It's not about checking out or hiding from the world. It's actually the complete opposite. It's about leaning in. It's about engaging more deeply, with more intention, with the life that's happening right in front of your face. So we'll just leave you with this question. As you go about your day, rushing from one thing to the next, just take a second to think about Margaret's day. And ask yourself, in a world that's absolutely obsessed with speed, what could you gain from just one moment of presence?